So there is time. So within that, I think we oftentimes, we also romanticize the past in ways that I think is quite dangerous. For instance, like I don't know how much this relates to your question, but I'm doing a lot of research around MLK and the civil rights movement because of a project that I'm doing, and I realized to kind of what Lisa said is there were a lot of churches even during that time, especially black churches, who weren't rocking with MLK, especially when he started going to his more militant Poor People's Campaign movement, because they were like, "You messing it up for us, bruh." And what I've been trying to emphasize tonight is that comfort and prosperity ruins our posture as Christians. And so when you end up getting to a place of comfort and things are good for you, the natural inclination for humans is like, how do we maintain this?
Yeah.
How do I make sure that I don't lose this comfort? And I'm guilty of that as well. I'm sure as you can testify to that as well. Like we all have self-preservation at heart. We want to figure out how to maintain. And so when you have revolutions, right, and change comes because of those revolutions, some folks are just like, all right, we've made it. And so that revolutionary voice dies. But you have to know when to revolt and when to maintain. And I think that is a balance. And I don't know if we're going to find, because even the liberation movements had its issues. But I do think there are times where our voice needs to be revolutionary and we need to revolt. And there's times when you need to figure out how do we preserve what is true and what is good and what is right. But at all times having a humble posture. If there's anything that I've said tonight that I just want to reiterate is that the Christian should always seek to be compassionate in his or her posture where they stand. It's like to believe that they believe something, to know in your First Peter, like to know what you believe and to give a defense for it, but at the same time be very humble while you're doing that, because you might be wrong. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel. It's like there are things that I'm adamant about right now. Next week I may change my mind, and I hope that as I'm defending it, interestingly enough, the brother who, the Hebrew Israelite brother, and my thing is like, you know what? 3 years ago, I would have thought that dude was ridiculous. Well, I still think he's a little, because even the way that they manage their arguments is just like that's a testament to your faith to me in a lot of ways, right? But 3 years ago, I would have been like, everything you're saying is nonsense. Now I'm at a place where I'm like, you know what? You may be able to convince me that the Hebrews were dark-skinned people. But at the end of the day, that doesn't change Jesus, right? And that was my whole posture. It's like, I'm going to let him finish. I'm going to let him get his spill out. But what do we do about the Hebrew who said, all men come through me in order to have a relationship with the Father? And my issue with Hebrew Israelites, and even some black liberation theology, is that when you make your theology around an ethnicity, you ostracize people. And so therefore what happens is you're no longer dealing with Jesus, you're dealing with a skin color and an ethnicity. And that becomes quite problematic. And so, but once again, there's truth. My brother was like, who's... but I believe there's truth in, and I think there's merit in listening to people and hearing people and listening to what they're saying and saying, hey, I can rock my camera, shut up.
Thank you so much.